So today we are going to be doing a gear banter, but it's going to be in a little bit of a different style. And thanks to Ashley's smart thinking, and she came up with this idea and the name of this idea, we're going to be doing a knife brand bash. Sorry, couldn't remember names today, but we're going to be doing a brand bash on these knives. Now we mean bash not so much in like bashing these knives, but like
they're horrible.
As in like we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of them and our experience with them. And we thought it would be very fitting for the first episode of this kind of gear banter brand bash to be talking about Benchmade. Because
we've had tons of Benchmade.
Yeah,
he has had tons of Benchmade.
Yeah, we've had easily over 10 Benchmades, especially ever since I started getting them. And so we thought it'd be really fitting to talk about a brand that we've had so many knives of, and even currently right now in the collection we have 5 Benchmades here. So, and
that's not including all the ones we've gotten rid of even just recently.
Yes, or that we've gone through. So we thought it'd be really nice and pretty fitting to do a brand bash on a brand that we're very familiar with, and we'll be talking about the ups and the downs of what we think about Benchmade in general. And we have a nice test palette here of different knives.
We'll also mention knives gone by, different knives that we've actually like had, that we enjoyed, that we sold, why we sold them, what we traded them for, what their value was. So anyways, guys,
that was pretty in depth.
yeah. Anyways, guys, don't forget to comment,
like, we go back and forth, right?
Yes.
As always, guys,
don't forget to comment,
like,
share,
and subscribe
for more of this Alaskan awesomeness.
Hopefully when it decides to stop snowing, springtime awesomeness. Sorry, you guys may not be able to see, but it is still snowing.
It's snowing.
Stupid snow.
Takes knife, digs it into the table.
Barrage! No, not that one. That one's the half.
Guys, let's get into this.
So Benchmade has been a company that I've been around a lot in my whole EDC career. This is actually
just popular.
My first Benchmade that I ever got, and I've had it for a bunch of years. And yes, a lot of people love Benchmade, and so over the years I've really gotten quite fond with them, and I'm going to also be rolling in some pictures of the past ones, except the Adamas. I'll be talking about the Adamas. I don't have any pictures. I do, but they're on a broken computer, so can't really get you guys the pictures of the Adamas.
Do we?
But you guys know what an Adamas looks like, and you guys can find a 275
we can just throw a picture
Adamas.
Of a random one up there.
Yeah, probably. So anyways, we've had a bunch of them, and overall I think the primary reason why I always go back to Benchmade, or why one of the reasons I like them, is the pretty good material use and build quality. I think another thing that's attracted me is some of the levels of customizability, like in the multiple colors of handles, such as that one, or the bug out handle.
I don't like the bug out.
Yeah. But what I do really like about, another thing that I really enjoy about Benchmade. I don't like the barrage anymore either. Benchmade, or the barrage was kind of a mess. I don't know, like it's definitely not one of my favorites.
I think this one was actually faulty.
Yeah, I think that one was faulty.
This one was faulty.
But
I tried.
That one maybe eventually replaced.
I mean, I could see how it would have been a great knife, but I think this one was faulty. It was all kinds of screwed up, and I only screwed it up even worse. But we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, so
I remember when I used to EDC that little thing. I
think one thing though that's consistent, like with all of these knives, is the level of innovation that they have. That Benchmade, even throughout. Oh no, it's locked. That's why it doesn't want to open. Okay, delightful. Anyways, they have a lot of innovation, and they continually shift and make more different styles, and they push themselves, I would say, to have innovative knives. Things like the Benchmade Proper, things like the Benchmade 761 are kinds of knives that are really different and kind of out there. But I think the execution is done really well.
It's funny, their blade shapes are all very similar too.
Kind of, actually. These two are really similar, and these two are kind of similar.
Yeah.
This one's just
you can just tell. That one looks like a spyderco wannabe.
Right.
That one's really just weird. But anyways, yeah, you can tell the Benchmade when you see a Benchmade. Now this is the second mini grip we've had. We had the black one too, and we traded something for this one and then sold the black one, and it was kind of sad to see it go.
No, I bought that one, I think.
I thought you traded it. Anyways, so we had a black one, now we just have this blue one. The mini grips are really good. These are good survival kit knives or little EDC folders. I've had quite a bit of experience with the mini grip. And then there was the barrage, but we'll talk about that one later.
You know, I mean, I can't really fault the barrage because the barrage is actually a really good knife. And in fact, there's a lot of people who own barrages that love them. This one's just a faulty one. I think this is just a defective one. So, I mean, honestly,
it was spring assist and now it's like broken.
Yeah, I don't want to bash that one too much. It was also abused in a way, like it was exposed to a lot of water. So, I mean, obviously when you expose any spring to like water and it gets rusty, it's going to snap. So,
and then there's the bug out. The bug out, in my opinion, is too flat. Benchmade still makes wonderful knives, but it's like that one's too flat. I don't get the bug out. He loves it. I don't understand.
I really love it for like 3 primary reasons. One, the value of it is really awesome. It's really there for me because S30V, sorry, not S35, but S30V, and so it's a really great steel. It's also super lightweight and really slim, so it's easy to throw in like a little survival kit or a survival bag.
Aren't these 3 at 154 cm?
Yes, all 3 of those are
just
154
cm.
Yeah, just 154.
And that's S30V.
That's S30V, and this is M390.
But yeah, they also have a real range. Like you can tell, it seems like their primary is 154 cm.
It definitely is.
But they also make some really good knives from really good steels, like the 761 out of M390.
Yeah.
This is a really, really good EDC folder. I've actually been EDCing this one off and on recently, and I happen to really like it, even more so than the Paramilitary 2 from Spyderco, which I do carry a lot also, but I primarily have been carrying this one recently, so.
And you know, they also have a lot of other designs, like the Benchmade proper, and I'm really enjoying the fact, oh, F16. Anyways, I've also really been enjoying the fact that they've been stepping up the level of quality. This, you know, is one of their first S30V options, but they also added the
proper was interesting. It looked like a toolless multi-tool. It had the same kind of a shaped blade and style as like a Victorinox, and it was really interesting looking, and it was actually kind of pretty, and I actually liked it, but he sold it.
I liked it for the most part, but
it was really small.
One thing, I'm just not really, as you can probably tell by my collection, I'm not a big fan of that style of like no lock, just like a slip joint kind of knife that size. For me, it just didn't really fit into anything. It's not my personal style. Another thing is, I also didn't like the half stop on it, like how it stopped halfway and then you had to take it all the way open.
Yeah, that was kind of annoying too.
Yeah, the blade shape was actually pretty cool. I felt though the only thing with it, and I'll show in some pictures, is I felt like the handle and the blade were kind of disproportionate to each other. Like the blade was built for another handle.
It kind of was. It was still decent. I mean, it wasn't a favorite, but it was decent. And then there was the Adamas.
The Adamas was such an amazing knife. So once again, it kind of goes back to like how Benchmade was just pushing like their limits. They made a really thick, really tough. I actually batoned with my Adamas a little bit, and it was like you could baton with it in the locked position and it would actually work really well. Then there was the AFO2. What did you think about the AFO2?
It was an auto knife. I thought it was chintzy looking and stupid.
Chintzy looking.
So it kind of looked like this, only it had a black handle. It was auto knife. It just looked too much like a Gerber for my taste. Just like this one kind of looks too much like a Gerber for my taste. But I didn't like, he loved his automatic AFO.
I still love my
I did not care for it. But he rocked it quite a bit. I couldn't get past the fact that it was just so bulky.
It was really heavy. Yeah.
So, I mean, it was really cool, but at the same time, it was definitely not a for me knife.
Sorry for the brightness, by the way, guys. This sunlight's been fluctuating wildly.
Yeah, hopefully it'll stay out. I'm tired of the snow.
So the only thing about the AFO that I didn't really like was the fact that since the handles were made of such a thick aluminum, it was a heavy knife.
It was really heavy.
Big,
and it was thick.
Heavy knife.
It's still alive. Just kidding.
Yes.
We sold it.
Yes,
we traded it.
No, we sold it.
Sold it.
And I'm trying to think if there were any other Benchmades I've been through. I feel like there have been more.
I think there are, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. Oh, the 940-2.
Oh yeah, the 940. How did I overlook that one? That's hilarious.
How did I remember that one?
Anyways, then there was the 940-2, which is like kind of a cult classic. Like there's like this cult following to it that like there's people who love the 940-.
See, first impression of the 940-2, I actually really liked it, but just kind of like the bug out, I found it to be too thin, too flimsy. It felt too much like a toy rather than an actual
really
knife.
Cheap, especially for the price it came in. Like, so
Exactly.
this is around $115 knife. Generally just about any 940 you get is ranging in the near $200 range.
Yeah.
And once again, it has the same S30V blade.
It was a decent, it looked decent. It just felt a little bit kind of chintzy.
Yeah, it felt really, really lightweight, which is the entire purpose of the knife. But the other thing I couldn't get past, and the reason why I ended up trading that knife for a microtech OTF, but one of the things I just couldn't get past with that knife was the whole fact of how thin the blade was. The blade was just like a little pencil.
It was kind of like a pencil. But I mean, it was a good knife and it was well put together, but it was for people not like us. It was for a more civilized kind of a person where they're not relying on their knives to be like beat to heck.
I don't know. People have really beat the heck out of their 940s. It's just, I don't know. I can't get past that whole like pencil style blade.
Yeah, it was really short. Thin. I remember when he showed it to me the first time, I kind of thought it was a joke.
Yeah. And I feel like if you want a really lightweight, ultra lightweight knife that has S30V that's made by Benchmade, you should consider the bug out because it has a wider blade. I say
screw that. Just go for this one right here. It's perfect.
That one's like $400 though.
I don't care. I got it for nothing.
Right? You got it for being in a relationship with
you.
Right? It's a really great knife, but a lot of people
their more really expensive knives are definitely worth the money. Their cheaper knives are worth the money as well, and they're pretty good. They're better than any rubber.
I think it's hard to go wrong with any of them. But their
expensive knives are just like, oh yeah.
I think it's hard to go wrong with any Benchmade, and I think that's probably what keeps attracting us back to the Benchmade line.
Benchmade is just really a good line. They've got all kinds of knives for all kinds of purposes.
Yes, and I find it funny that, when I did my re-review of the mini grip,
that was funny, the guy in the ER who had the Benchmade, and I was just like playing with it.
Exactly right. You're gonna break that thing.
I don't care. Anyways, it's already broken.
So, I really disliked the mini grip, but then I was like, I got rid of it. I'm like, oh, I still need one, because it's one of those knives, the mini grip, that's just like, while I can't necessarily justify the the build quality, I wish it was a little bit higher quality for the money you do put in. It is still a really amazing knife, and
can I tell them about the guy in the ER?
Yeah, go for it.
So I was in the emergency room, and anyway, this guy had a Benchmade grip Tillian on him, and it had the black handle. It was like this, but it had a pocket clip, and it was black. I saw the pocket clip said Benchmade. I was like, what kind is that? And he's like, grip Tillian. I was like, can I see it? And I just started like playing with it in front of him, and I'm just like, yeah, we have one of these.
Exactly.
And this is actually a pretty good knife. I don't like the style of the blade personally, but it's still a pretty good knife, and he's used it a lot. But I thought that was kind of funny. I think he got a kick out of that.
Probably.
I'm just like, yep. We know our Benchmades. Anyways,
we love them.
I prefer Spyderco over the Benchmade, but Benchmade is still pretty good. Like, I mean, honestly, this $400 knife is my favorite one out of all the knives.
Let's remove these back so they can see them all when they're just sitting here.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, they make a lot of really interesting knives, though, and I think the diversity and the materials used in a lot of the Benchmades makes them a really attractive buy. And I can definitely see why Benchmade is so popular. You get a lot of value and a lot of quality out of whatever you go in this line. And I will say another thing that I kind of like, and this is talking more about the customer service, is that these guys are really parts happy. So if you ever want to get like a Benchmade clip, or if you don't like the clip that comes on your knife, for the most part, most of these are interchangeable with exception to this one. You can actually ask them.
That's a titanium clip. Who would want to change that anyway?
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a different screw design. But you can actually go and ask Benchmade, and they'll generally send you for free different clips. You'll just have to know the bug out clip, or whatever clip you're personally pursuing.
What is Nut and Fancy called, a one clip?
Yeah, we don't have any penis clips here, but this one came with a penis clip, and it definitely looks like a penis.
I love it. It's kind of funny how Nut and Fancy's like the penis clip. It has a different name, but it's just lovingly.
It's the split arrow clip.
It's lovingly nicknamed the penis clip.
Yep.
So attractive.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen the clips, and they actually do kind of look like male reproductive organs. It's kind of hilarious. I never thought this channel would sink to that level of
It doesn't.
Crassness, but it just did.
Not really. It's just the name that Nut and Fancy gave it, so I'll just
We love
continue
Nut
to
and
say
Fancy.
it.
He's the best.
Yeah. So anyways, the parts are really awesome on these knives. You can really go to Benchmade and they'll do that. And for the most part, this one was actually sent in for warranty work and it was done very well.
Oh, it was. It came back way better than it was.
It came back way better. The only issue, in my opinion, was it took like 2 months. It spent like 2 months there. So, I mean, it took about like a week to get there and a week back. But it seriously took a long time.
Yes, it did.
In Benchmade's factory. Like, it took over a month to get this thing done.
It was well worth it, though.
Yes, technically, but it just felt like it took a long time. So that's probably my only issue.
It was kind of
with
in
the
bad shape
warranty
when we got it, but it's in much better shape now, and it's a good knife.
Yes, it is. So anyways.
And then there's the barrage.
This one is the next one to go off.
It's broken.
It's seriously locked right now, guys.
It's broken. I'm sorry. I did not mean to break that thing. I tried to take good care of it. I kind of look at it every now and then and I laugh and I'm like, I actually used to EDC this thing and think it was awesome, and now it's like, look how far I've come.
It's still locked up. Oh, maybe it was just because the lock was on. Oh, it was. Okay. Sweet. I was like, why isn't it shaking out? But anyways, so yeah, this is it's a pretty good knife, but I think this one's going back for warranty work semi-soon.
It needs help.
It needs help, but it's kind of that bottom of the bin knife that just keeps getting forgotten about. It needs help, but I keep forgetting that it needs help. I'm just like, I don't really want to spend the money sending it back.
Yeah.
But anyways, it is a pretty awesome knife, and really
maybe we could sell it, tout it to be something amazing, and then sell it under a false name, make a bunch of money, and slip away into the darkness.
That'd be creepy. I don't know if we do that.
We would.
So anyways,
just kidding, we would not.
Anyways, guys, so that's basically our brand bash on Benchmade and kind of overall what we think. Honestly, aside from the Proper, I've never really had a Benchmade that I didn't like honestly. And even the Proper was good. It was just built for another type of fan
And it
group.
was a different kind of person knife.
Yeah, but I've never really had a Benchmade that I didn't like, and the quality level has always been very high on these knives. The centering, the lockup, the performance has always been very good. And especially, I love using these two for EDC and or adventuring because they make really good knives for both, in my opinion. This one is still pretty awesome. It's a nice high-end gentleman's carry.
Yes.
But anyways, guys.
I love that one.
I think that's all for now. God bless.
And we're out.